Hi, Ron Engh here at PhotoSource International in Wisconsin, Pine Lake Farm. We're the home of Photo Daily and Photo Letter. We've been here 30 years. And we're the home of Photo Stock Notes and Photo Stock Notes Plus. Say, this subject is on branding. It's more important than ever to brand your photographs. You know how branding is. You have been watching videos, mine here for maybe 2 years. I always have the same shirt on, the same bandana, and I look the same almost. And yeah, my wife tells me I wear that shirt all the time. I even wear it to bed. She's no, just kidding. I've been wearing it for let's see, just kidding there too. She washes it after every session like this. But branding, get people to remember who you are through your photography, and this information that we're presenting today is going to be very helpful to you. So, goodbye, and be sure to check out the text below. Ron Engh, PhotoSource International.
I'll use an analogy here. Are you a country doctor? From the early days of medicine in the USA up to well into the 20th century, the average doctor made house calls. In other words, he'd go out in his buggy and visit you whether you lived in the city or out in the sticks. But along came mobility, cars and highways that allowed patients to travel directly to the doctor for their services. But the doctors still practiced their same procedures, administering known remedies for symptoms ranging from aches and pains of arthritis to sore toes. Most physicians in the early days were, you might say, all things to all people. They were generalists, taking on treatment of just about all maladies. From the mid-1900s on, MDs started following the path of other professionals, what they were taking, focusing on a specific aspect of their field. That is, they were specializing. This trend went on hand in hand with the explosion of technical advances and innovations in every field, plus the increase in population. For example, attorneys specialized in criminal law, divorce, intellectual property, copyright. Doctors became obstetricians, neurologists, cardiologists, urologists. Musicians even evolved and explored rhythm and blues, rock, jazz, country music, rap, as these new ideas and venues in their field mushroomed. They specialized. And what about stock photographers? Few photographers in the later days of the 20th century recognized the marketing detour that it was happening. Why? Probably because they had too much invested in the generalist approach to photography that they knew best. It was don't fix it if it's not broken. They continued to be country doctors and continued to photograph any and all subject matter imaginable, creating excellent photos, but ones that couldn't market the old way. With the advent of computers and the internet, creating new methods of photo search and delivery. These photographers found an outlet for their photos in photo portals that were being established in those days. It worked fine for the first couple of 2-3 years, but then their portals began bulging with more and more images, making competition fierce. Adding to the mix were huge numbers of pictures coming not from more pros, but from part-timers who can now produce equally acceptable photos thanks to new cameras, new equipment, new technology, and new delivery services and search engines. Some photographers recognized that if they chose just a segment of the photography industry, a subject area, or two, or three, that they really enjoyed, such as aviation, gardening, zoology, education, dance, etc., and built a deep selection of photos in those specific areas that they loved. They could take advantage of the new technology of search, find, and delivery. Well, they would flourish. Now that the dust has settled, and these days we see that those photographers who have survived the changes in emphasis in the stock photography industry are those who have become an authority in their own specific subject area. They seldom look for work. The buyers come to them, even in a down economy. These photographers have a monopoly because each is an authority in one of, well, there must be 3,500 different subject areas or fields where photo buyers constantly need photos. So how does this affect you? By specializing, matching your area of specific areas of focus to photo buyers who need pictures in those areas, you automatically adopt a segment of the marketplace that's easy to brand. Why? Because you're in a visual profession, and your consistent supply of images that cover all aspects of a specific subject category, well, that becomes your brand, whether it be Formula One racing cars or hospital emergency unit. And with branding, it's more important than ever in today's internet marketplace. So establish yourself as a brand. You can brand yourselves. With a good supply of pictures in one category, you can now publish books, websites, and apps, podcasts, and deal directly with buyers who you can count on as needing your kind of photos. The internet has speeded up this process. So if you haven't yet repurposed your stock photo business into one that exhibits a highly recognized brand, it's time to get moving.